One small mistake. One quiet room. And a lesson Flick the fox would never forget. The house was silent. Too silent. Flick the fox stood in the middle of his cozy little home, warm sunlight spilling through the window, dust floating gently in the air. In front of him was a small mess, nothing huge, nothing loud, but enough to make his heart feel heavy. A tipped-over table. Spilled berries. A broken clay bowl on the floor. Flick scratched his head slowly, his ears drooping. "It was just a small mistake," he whispered. But the mess didn't answer back. Flick had been rushing. Rushing to finish breakfast. Rushing to get outside. Rushing because he thought he had time to clean up later. But later had come faster than he expected. He took a deep breath and sat down on the floor, staring at what he had caused. "I didn't mean for this to happen," Flick said softly. Still, the mess remained. As the fire crackled gently in the corner, Flick remembered something his mother once told him. "Mistakes don't disappear when you ignore them." Flick sighed. He stood up and began to pick up the pieces. Slowly. Carefully. As he reached for the broken bowl, his paw paused. "This was my favorite," he said quietly. For a moment, he felt angry. Not at the bowl. Not at the mess. At himself. If I had just slowed down. The thought echoed in his mind. Flick stood again and looked around his home. This place was safe. Warm. Full of memories. And now, it was messy, because of him. Instead of walking away, Flick made a choice. He grabbed a cloth and began to clean. Each berry he picked up felt like a reminder. Each wiped surface felt like a promise. Not to be perfect. But to be more careful. Time passed. The sun moved across the floor. The room slowly returned to calm. When Flick finished, he stood in the center of the room once more. It wasn't exactly the same. The bowl was gone. The table had a small scratch. But something inside Flick had changed. He felt lighter. That's when there was a knock at the door. Flick opened it to find Little Turtle smiling up at him. "Hey Flick. Want to go play?" Turtle asked. Flick smiled back, but this time it was different. "Sure," Flick said. "But first, let me make sure everything's in order." Turtle blinked. Then smiled wider. As they walked outside, Flick locked his door gently. Not rushing. Not careless. Just present. As they stepped into the sunlight, Flick thought about the mess again, not with shame, but with understanding. Some lessons don't shout. They whisper. And sometimes, you only learn them the hard way. Mistakes are not the end of the story, they're where the lesson begins.